Hi everybody, Miss Elaineous here and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, this is where I take you to see offbeat, interesting and quirky tourist attractions. Today I have been for a relaxing walk beside the Thames, not in central London though. I've gone further west and I've been down by Hammersmith Riverside. Hammersmith Bridge is my favourite London bridge. I regard her as a grand old lady, but alas, this grand old lady is looking rather careworn. Extensive refurbishment works are taking place here, and not for the first time either. A bridge has stood on this site since 1827, this incarnation from 1887, and she simply wasn't designed to withstand the volume of traffic that traverses London nowadays. Come and take a walk in my shoes, and I'll show you a couple of iconic pubs which have featured in film and in TV. I'll also show you a haunted pub and Chiswick 8, which is an island in the Thames. Finally, I will show you houses which are separated from their gardens by a road. Now, these gardens sit right beside the Thames and often become totally flooded. I have seen that with my own eyes. Don't forget to give me a like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and do click on the notifications bell. I will see you in the video.
This is the Rick Mail Memorial Bench, which sits on an island near Hammersmith Broadway. You might think it's quite an absurd place for a seat, but the original bench featured in the opening credits of Bottom, the humorous TV series which starred Mail and his sidekick, Adrian Edmondson. This is St Paul's Church, and I love the way the trees kind of form umbrellas. Onto Hammersmith Bridge, and I used to live in Hammersmith. It's over 20 years ago now. This side, the Hammersmith side of the bridge, is quite built up. The Barnes side is very rural alongside the river though. Now, can you see the two bullet-shaped buildings with spokes coming out of the top in the centre of the frame? That's Harrods Furniture Depository. That's where they stored items too large to store in store. Nowadays, it is luxury housing. Harrods are famed for claiming that they can get you anything. They once used to have a pet shop which sold exotic birds, reptiles, monkeys, ring-tailed lemurs, and even lions, it is said. Down on the river you will see a skull. That skull with a C, not a K, it's a boat. There are many rowing clubs in the area. The boat race starts at the next bridge up to the left. That is Putney Bridge. I've seen the start of it. There really is not a lot to watch, I have to say. Now, the bridge has been targeted by the Irish Republican Army 3 times. The first was in 1939, when Chiswick hairdresser Maurice Charles was crossing the bridge on his way home, when he noticed smoke and sparks coming from a suitcase on the walkway. He tossed it into the river, and the resulting explosion caused a 60-foot high jet of water, and he was later awarded the MBE for his quick thinking. A second device detonated moments later, causing the windows in nearby houses to shatter and some girders on the west side of the bridge to collapse. The next time was in 1996, when 2 big Sentex devices, at the time the largest Sentex bomb haul ever found in Britain, were discovered on the Barnes side of the bridge. That's where we're walking to now. The detonators were activated, but the bomb failed to ignite. In the year 2000, the bridge was damaged by a real IRA bomb, again on the Barnes side, resulting in its closure for 2 years. Hammersmith Bridge has suffered from many structural problems over the years. Sometimes cars have been allowed over it, sometimes buses only, and sometimes nothing at all. The bridge was closed to motor vehicles in April 2019 after cracks were discovered in the bridge's pedestals. The closure later extended to bicycles and pedestrians. but limited usage resumed in July 2021. I still think it's a majestic, beautiful old bridge. Here we are at the barnside, underneath the bridge. And I'm taking a moment to look over the water to Hammersmith. People congregate there to watch the boat race. The building on the other side of the water is Riverside Studios. It's where TFI Friday was filmed in the 1990s. We are now heading down Upper Mall, and I've sped you up in some parts. I'm going to show you some iconic pubs, but when I did this walk it was before 11 in the morning, so they were shut. Having a gulp back. Coming into view is the Blue Anchor, which features in the end credits of 1980's favourite television series Minder, featuring George Cole and Dennis Waterman. In the film Sliding Doors, it's where Helen, Gwyneth Paltrow's character, gets involved in some post-rowing celebrations. Next to that is the Rutland Arms, and the outside of that often features in Naughty's television drama series New Tricks, starring Amanda Redman and, again, Dennis Waterman. They play a bunch of detectives, and it's here that they indulge in their after-work drinkies. Have I ever drunk in these pubs? Hell yeah. We're now coming up to Furnival Gardens. They're a nice place to sit and relax and have a sandwich. Don't forget to check out my blog. There is much more information on there. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I will always be a writer before anything else. I'm now heading up the longest jetty to take in the view both ways down the river. It was a very mild day for November. Look, I'm still wearing sandals. I am now heading towards the Dove, and the building coming into view now is Sussex House. That is where the Duke of Sussex lived. Not the current chap, I'm talking about the son of King George III. Here is the Dove, and I've sat outside on their terrace before. A lovely place to have a pint. The pub dates from the early 18th century, and the front bar here, behind this window, is the smallest public bar in the United Kingdom. The words for the 1740 song Rule Britannia are said to have been written here by James Thomson. Here's Kelmscott House. William Morris once lived here. You can visit, but it was closed on this particular day. That sped you up again. That's Latimer Upper School, quite a well-known prep school. And this lovely building houses the Sons of the Thames Rowing Club. Stopping for a gawp back. We're now heading to the Old Ship, which is a building which is thought to date back to the reign of Charles I, and apparently retains its porch from that time, although it was rebuilt in its present form around 1850. Yes, I've drunk in here too, and I do remember some rather sharp chili vodka. Chiswick 8 is visible here, and it's a tree and reed covered island in the Thames. The dulcet tones of Hammersmith in the background. We are heading towards the Black Line, and, surprise, surprise, I've drunk in here too. Apparently it has a bowling alley inside, but I don't remember it. The pub is said to be haunted by the Hammersmith ghost, who's lurked in this area since 1803. He's a spectral white-clad figure who's said to hang around the local churchyard swinging out at women. These cute steps are the Bell Steps, which are often also called the Black Line Steps, and they head right down into the water. Very handy if you live next door and own a boat. We are now heading towards Chiswick Mall. I just had to check out this postbox. It was put here in the reign of Edward VII. And the tall pipe you can see coming into view is a stink pipe. They were installed during the Victorian era and their purpose is to release noxious gases from the sewers down below. This cute vintage Fiat 500 sits outside Mari's Deli and Dining, an Italian restaurant. I don't know what its purpose is, maybe just to advertise the deli. The houses in Chiswick Mall have gardens which sit over the road. I've seen this area totally flooded when the Thames has burst its banks. With water as high as the centre of the road, apparently it can go even higher than that, up to the steps of the front doors of these houses. Would I want to live here? No, thank you very much. Although suffice to say, I cannot afford it. And there's me trying to pick up on any interesting detail. This postbox had no insignia on it. Look, here's little Miss Inquisitive peering around it. But alas, nothing. Little things please little minds and all that. And here I am hunting for a proper view over Chiswick 8. And here it is. I will leave you with a view of Chiswick Mall.
Thank you for watching and I do hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me what you thought in the comments and tell me where you'd like me to go next time. Remember to give me a like, do subscribe to my channel and click on the notifications bell. I've done several more vlogs which you might enjoy and the links are here. Come and see me soon for another miscellaneous adventure. Until then, ta-ta for now.